recording for your scope.
Nice one.
Right, I'll just... Hi everybody, we're in Discord as always. Scope's going to be talking about smart money trading and his trading strategy. If you'd like to come and join us and chat, he's going to be sharing his screen. So I'm going to go over to the screen. Okay, just putting up your screen on YouTube. Let me make that smaller, make that bigger, and there we go. Got that. Perfect.
Right.
Okay, yeah. On
am I on now, am I?
You are indeed.
Give me a sec.
No problem.
Right. So, got my laptop going as well, and my laptop's absolutely bloody horrendous to work out.
No problem.
Right. Just get a drink. I can't believe how sick I feel.
No problem.
Right.
Shit.
So, let me just have a gander at this for 1 second. Where is Steve? I'll do Ash and Steve. I've got something that you've been asking for.
Really?
Yeah, well, I won't say something, but I'll do a live breakdown of what you asked for, Steve, and Ash. I'll just quickly go over your LTC trade because I didn't have very much time to go over it. So if I just 1 second, so I'll do yours first, Ash. So this is the LTC you asked for. It's in the 15 minutes at the minute. That's what you were on. As you can see, obviously you've took some entry from here, I believe. But let me show you how to actually do this straight off, rather than, you know, just a quick, simple way for you. So let me just put it in a replay mode for now. So we're in the, let's put it in the 1 hour. So while you're in the 1 hour, obviously we've had a massive up, but you don't really need to worry about all this down here. It's just the most recent action you want to be getting in, because if you start trying to analyze from down here, it'll take you forever and a day, because you'll probably have, like, if you can see here is big imbalance, you know, smart money's joined the market there. So realistically, even so, you could have had, obviously you've got a fair value gap there, and you've got one here, but it's been filled by this little pullback. So you could just say you could find, well, there's some wicks there, so just say that could be a POI, what you find, but then price never touches it, and obviously it flies up. So there's no point analyzing all this down here. You analyze this for targets. Now, say if you got any short from down here, I don't know if you can see these little blue marks. These are my fair value gaps. There's some here. The little ones I don't really care too much about. It's the big ones I care about. Like it would be this size, but obviously this little pullback here has filled it. So for me, what I do is, when I'm analysing, this is a big fair value gap. If I get in a good short, if I get a good entry up here for a short, then I could be targeting that area. So for me, I've always said it from the start, imbalances, people enter on imbalances and that. I'm not saying it's the wrong way to do it. I'm not saying nothing like that, because I've watched people enter on fair value gaps, and they make decent trades sometimes. I've not tried it myself. I've always said they're just targets and signals that smart money's in the market. So it's just recent structure. So the way I get recent structure up is, and I start on the 4 hour. So the way I just get the recent structure, right click, reset chart view. That's all you need. Just this bit here. You know, just this bit instead of having all that on your chart. So I'm going to start on the 4 hour like I normally do. Let's remove. Fact, what is it? LTC is it? I ain't got no. I've deleted all my charts as well, so I've got literally nothing on any chart really, unless I've analysed it or something. So let's put it on the 4 hour. Let's reset chart view, and you see this is the movement we're bothered about. This and this, just this most recent. But obviously, you need on the 4 hour. You need obviously a full page of it, because obviously, as you can see here, there's a key level there, and a key level here. And then obviously you've got these little bits here, but this is like, this area is the best area, and look how strong it's broke it, you know. So I mean, you can get your little small breaks and that, but I just looked at it like this. So I analysed straight away on the 4 hour. So for me at the moment, just say we are here somewhere on this bit of chart. So for me, we've got a big bump down here, a big bump down here. So for me, I'm marking out my breaker structures and my CTSs. So obviously this would count as, let me just put this on, oh, wrong thing. Just put that on as a break on the hour, 4 hour. Let's put this on as a this as well. Just issue on a view it like that. So for me, this is where we've broke structure here, and obviously this is a main point that's been done. So after anything after that, if it's going up, breaker structures, if it's going up, it's going to be continuing. Time you break it, continuing. These are just little ranges. They don't break the previous like swings. It's when they break the previous swing. Sorry, this one here. They're just obviously nothing to count like. So what I then do is just mark out my structure straight up. And for the reason I didn't mark all this out is because you're just going to get muddled up. I know this is the 4 hour chart, but you're just going to get muddled up. For structure to be properly, you need each one of these points you need to be broken. And as you can see, if you just draw a line across here, nothing got broken cleanly until it came to here. So for me, this is the low, that's the high. That's how it goes. So that's how I would mark out. And then obviously this line wouldn't really be here yet. Obviously there's two candles straight up. You can count it as structure, but for me, what you do then is you just mark where your breaker structure would be. So until breaker structure, and you would mark out where your continue the structure is. So for me, obviously, I'm waiting for this leg here. I'm waiting for this leg here. Obviously, it's valid because there's multiple candles going up. When you get to stuff like this, I don't mark any of that out. That's just noise, even on the 4 hour. So That's what I'm waiting for, a clean break of that. If you've got a double top, obviously like it's got now, you could, if you're not CTSing, you could BOS. So that's just that simple. So I mark out then my most recent. Well, you don't know if this is a massive buy area yet because there's it's not broke this or it's not come down, so you don't know what is. If this comes down and breaks that break structure, then this will be the massive selling area. Then we will be looking at that kind of area, the targets. But where, as far as the POIs go, I've got my structure there. So now I look at analyze the volume of the market. So for me, it's going to be this wave and this wave, maybe this pullback here. So I can see it when I go lower time frame. So to analyze this, I have been looking for the first down candle in a pullback. To the last down candle in the movement, which can have this one or this one. I'd say this one, but this is where there's multiple candles, so I would pick this one. And then on the volume, then just an arrow at the lines. So the pullback waves so going down waves are the momentum's down, meaning we're still at a strong area. So, and you can see smart money's joined the market here, big massive imbalances going up with big candles as soon as it comes down to this area. But it comes down to let's see here, it comes down to key level here. It comes down to a key level, and then you can see it's big pressure coming back up. So then you analyze the up movement. So you analyze the up movement. So that's the first up candle. I mean, and like I say, I don't count any of this. That's where I count as the top. So the first up candle to the last up candle in this area, and then you do the same again. Arrow, and as you can see, the buying pressure is more than the selling pressure. And I'll show you a couple of examples of this in a minute, because you might just think, well, it's going to if it's going up, but it doesn't. It dies and it just goes all over the place. So then I'll do it like this, then do the same again. So now you can see here, this is a down movement, and this is not all finished yet because it's still moving. You don't know if it's going to CTS. It doesn't look like it is. Doesn't look like it is. It had a massive rejection at this area. So you can get your, again here, and as you can see, if we start back from here, selling pressure is down. So meaning that you've got your last area, your last swing point marked out, obviously, because it's a breaker structure line. This is going to be your, at this time when you're at this point at market or something and you're watching this pullback, this is going to be at that time, at this time, that's going to be your breaker structure line. So then obviously, you know, you can get your key level out of there. can mark the key level out. And I've gone through this in the smart money course, but obviously this is just carrying on and going a bit further into detail with this, and I'll get to the point of interest in a minute, the smart money moves. So obviously when you're watching this one go up, I mean, you can do from, I don't know, here to the last up candle. You can see that the pressure is, see that the pressure, two. Sorry about this. It's dying down a bit, but you can get the selling pressure that's going down as well. So that's why when you see the buying pressure here going down, even though we're going up, the buying pressure is going down. And then we get this, the selling pressure is going down. So the momentum there, if they're both going down, or just say they're both like kind of equal, or going down a tiny bit, that's when you get this kind of like range of movement. That's why this is the top, and that's why it didn't get broken for so long, because we had like low buying pressure and low selling pressure. So you get this like range and all these wicks. And then as soon as smart money comes in, you see these ones here, 1, 2, 3 big candles. Look at the MA line on the volume, and if you mark these out and go, oh, you're not going to be able to. If you mark them out, and you'll see that the volume flies over the volume MA. So obviously they're out of the ordinary. So this shows you that smart money is in the market at this time just by volume, because if it's bounced over there, you've got these candles, there's high volume in these candles. That is, if you it's the full group has declined in momentum. Whereas when it gets to these red candles, these are smart money moves candles, like high volume candles. You can see these dots underneath as well. They're big volumes, 2 times the size of the previous ones over 2, and that's how I've got it set up as. And the volume in these increases, so this shows manipulation. If you see these candles here, they're really small and there's loads of wicks on them. Obviously, if you go back to my course, then at the very first, you'll see that obviously I showed how to spot obviously smart money and how to spot like just retail trading, retail traders. So obviously it's here like this. So the actual pullback starts here, but you've got really small movements. It's fluctuating, it's not doing nothing. So then smart money joins in, and you see a big, and I showed an example of this in my Scopes chat the other day. The smart money joins in the market, whereas when you're wanting price to go up, volume on the pullbacks should be decreasing, which it is the group volume, but at the very last second, at the very last like few candles, volume increases massively, and that just shows smart money's in the market at that time. So what is smart money doing? Smart money's pushing it back down to a price where it can buy its orders, and then it jumps back in. As soon as smart money's pushed back down, you can see it in the volume. This is like manipulation. This shows you your manipulation just by volume. These candles, volume spikes, and an increase in overall like a down momentum. So it's like a volume increase. So you know smart money's joined the market there. And as soon as it goes into the next one, look at the big push up, and then smart money straight there, bang. As soon as it manipulates it back down to a price, because you know when it's doing this, it's not going to get there fast. So what smart money does is it jumps in at the last minute and just pushes price to where it wants to be. So that's how I know smart money is in the market, because you get these volume spikes with showing manipulation. and then obviously it bounces straight up. And as you can see here, we start ranging again. We've not, this is the breaker structure line, we've not broke it, so smart money's joined to manipulate it back down to a price where it wants to buy, and then as soon as it comes back in, smart money's there again pushing price up. And then what it does is obviously does all these wicks. This is just like crap money, and then what does it do? It joins in again. And you see the increase right at the last, right at these last ones. What you see from here, the 3 green candles, 1 volume spike on there. You see 1, 2, and then you see a massive push up. But now, when you get to the last leg, last pullback, you see that now the selling pressure is group volume is gone bigger. It's rose. So that means with this rising, the last up leg, you've got smart money in the market to manipulate, you've got smart money in the market to push. Then you go back into retail trades, all these small tiny candles, and then you get smart money again, push straight to the top. And then you get, that's your buying pressure, and then you get your selling pressure into the market. So you've got buying pressure momentum's up, you've got selling pressure's momentum's up. So then obviously you've got your breaker structures and you've got your continuous structures. So now you're just going to wait for one of these areas to be broken, or like I say, you find the momentum, you've got buying pressure in the market, smart money's in the market, and you've got selling pressure now in the market just joined. So obviously with buying up, selling up, you can't be too sure. You've got a double top, smart money's around, you've got a double top, you've got buying pressure up, you've got selling pressure up. You can't be too sure until you get a proper signal. So we know that on the 4 hour. So we've got buying pressure, selling pressure in the market. So now look when we get to just put this full screen here. So now look when we get to the 1 hour chart. So you can analyze again. So you're marking again your recent structure. Obviously that's the 4 hour pullback, and that's what we're just waiting for to see what happens at this area. And as you can see, when you look on the 4 hour, you can see when we had this manipulation phase back down to push it down to this key level. And then what happens is we have with here, that's us breaker structure on there, and this is our break of this area is our breaker structure on the hour for this at this time. It's a breaker structure on the hour, and obviously, and you can see it's obviously range, and you can get a little trade out of this scalp, but until you break like your structures, there's no need to go any further until you're seeing like one of these being broken. It's on the hour. Until you see one of these lines being broken, there's no reason to try to trade unless you trade in low time frames. But our signals are when we're CTSing or BOSing. So now if I mark out the most recent buy areas, key levels for this, you can see on the hourly, you have got this one, and as you can see, it's been manipulated down to come into it, and it's bounced straight off of it. So let's just so these are your most recent strongest selling zones. tell these are strong selling zones because every time, well, this time, look at the massive balance we're left. So smart money's joined the market. So you know this is a very, very strong area. You can, and you know it by these massive candles pushing. So and it's pushed to break structure on the 4 hour, and it's pushed to break the hour. So you know that this is a very strong area. I'm on hourly here. So you know that that's a very strong area, and then it's is manipulated down again to fill all the imbalance, and then it hits it, and look at the wicket off. So obviously it was down here, bounced back off, and then smart money straight back in. So you can obviously work your breaker structures, and you can work your selling and buying areas, or anything in between here is just bit of noise. But for the most recent one now, you've got another one here. Makes sense soon. You've got that. So now you've got this as a key level 2 because you've got smart money pushing up, pushing away from it. So you know it's a strong buy area. This one obviously can stay the same because there's no new thing, and we haven't CTS. So we're just waiting now for movement off of it, and you can see that we're in replay mode. You can see again we bounce straight off of it. So what happens then is, obviously once you bounce through a key level, it's just like one of them breaker blocks. What you use, it's come down, it's retested it. So you know that you've got new structure, you've got this now, which has turned to a key level. You've got a break on the 4 hour. You've CTS'd on the 4 hour. So overall for LTC, this is the most recent price action now. So overall for LTC, if you just look at the 4 hour and the 1 hour, don't try and trade on the 15 minutes until you get a proper signal. So yeah, you don't try and trade on the 15 minutes until you get a proper signal. So now, whereas this here, where it's broke straight through, and it's broke through with imbalance. So now your 4 hour is up. Four-hour trend's up. So now you check momentum. Your 4 hours up because you CTS. Obviously your 1 hour's up. So for me, when I'm in this situation, so when I'm in this situation, I'm only looking for buys really, until I get shown otherwise. And otherwise to me is this. Let me just how do I hide that? So for me at this area now, how I work it now is that should continue the structure now, because obviously it'll be continued structure 1 hour and 4 hour now. And this is, well, was when it broke through to put in this high, and then 1, 2 candles coming straight down, then maybe the third, you know that this then is a valid high. But at that time, when it just puts that low in, that high, sorry, that is the breaker structure. So we haven't broke the CTS yet. We have not broke the BOS yet. So until anything in between this area, obviously you've got this key level here as well, and that's come from what was resistance and now is obviously support. So you've got your 4-hour trend up, your 1-hour trend up, you've got your breaker structure, you've got your CTS. Anything in between this, you might be able to get a little scalp. But first signs of this would be the lower high is put in. But then if you carry on with price, you see it hits the key level, bounces, tries, bounces, tries, bounces, tries, bounces. All the while we're in between this. So for me, I don't go any further with my trading if I see anything in between these two areas until now. If price did this pullback and then went straight through there, then I would consider now that's a break, and then I'd wait for this pullback to start for that new structure then. So as far as LTC goes there's nothing really that I would want to be trading about, or I would want to be trading. As you can see, this is the most. I mean, there's lower candles, but if you really wanted to, just to put it into perspective, what I mean, just say you counted this as your low. Obviously, it is a valid pullback, so you could count it as your low, but there's every time it's touched this line, it's touched it, immediate reaction, touched it, immediate reaction, touched it, immediate reaction, touched it, immediate reaction. So none of this is valid, nothing is valid. So I won't go any further at all with LTC unless I was like using a 5-minute chart to try and get little scalps. But for me, that's how I leave it, just like that. And then the next time I load it up, if I've got an alert, this bottom of this key level here for when it breaks, set an alert now. If I get a break of that, or I get a break of that, that's when I can go back to the chart. Or I've had an alert with CTS, so then I can start marking out my other areas. So there's no clear breaker structure. Obviously, it's nothing's valid. No break is valid there. And obviously, if you follow it through, it's just noise sideways, no breaker structures anywhere. So for me, just a bit of noise. But if you was going to the lower time frame, you've still got your breaker structure line, and you can see even on the 15 minutes, reaction, reaction, reaction. There's nothing, there's no break. All right, you could say this was a break, but obviously you're at now a key level, breaker block, however you want to trade, however you want to call it. But why would the thing is, you've got your 4-hour trend up, your 1-hour trend up. You've already established that, and you're still up because you've not broke this structure. This is the main structure to break, and that's the main structure to break to the up to carry on with the 4 up and the 1 hour up. This is to change that to a downtrend. So just because you see this lower high here, obviously it's apparent on a 15-minute and it's apparent on the 1 hour, but if you've got your higher time frame breaker structures, then and you're at like a bullish now key level, I wouldn't try and sell at a buy area, if you know what I mean. Trends are up. Why would you try and short at a buy area? If anything, you're looking for a long. Every time it hits the key level. If anything, you're looking for stuff like this every time it hits, targeting recent structures, recent highs, whatever. That's what you're looking for, really, if you're at a buy position. Same as if you was struggling up here, if you was doing this up here, why would you be trying to look for a buy? Because the more times, the more times it hits it, the more times you're going to lose. You don't look for a short at a buy area. You don't look for a long at a sell area. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I'm just trying to tell you how I see things, and this is how I trade. It's just logical in it. You don't look for a short here. You look for a long here at least, because you've got every trend going up. You look for sells up here because you see it's at high price what you could sell at, and you could make decent gains from. So if you did look, the only thing that would have worked brilliantly here is a short, and you can see it is apparent. So if you are trading this, you've got your key levels out, you've got your breaker structures levels out. So if you're doing like the 15-minute, if you're doing like a 15-minute trading, you're going to be buying down here and selling up here. The only trade that would have really worked, well, you could have got this scalp as a little scalp, not really worth much to me. So if you look at the 15 minutes structure, you've got a bit of this going off. Right, well, anyway. Got your first 15-minute break here, and this is something I wouldn't, don't do. I used to do. I don't do anymore, because you find out you sat at your charts for too long. So you've got your first 15-minute break there. It's not this, by the way, because obviously, like I said, when we're down here, this is your breaker structure line. It instantly answers question. So you've got your first break here. Obviously, there's 1, 2, 3 that close below the breaker structure. This is literally like, as far as how, it's just a bit too much for me looking at, zooming right into stuff like this. So what do we get then? We have the last. We have 15 minutes. We've got a key level here. It's gone down, hits it back once, gone down. It's hit it here. Could have got stopped out if you would have took it. That's the only trade that you could have really got in a scalp. It just depends what size stop loss you're doing and that, but I won't be trying to sell when I'm here, because it's bouncing every time until it breaks this level. That's when I'll be that's when I would be. I mean, what you got there, 0.74 stop loss. If you had low leverage, you could use that there, go to there. You're still getting a tourist reward with a 3.26% win. But like I say, I always wait for proper structure to form. So the time I would be looking for a short on LTC is, I mean, great if you can get up here. If you can get a short up here and it goes down, bounces, and then breaks. Great, because you're in a. Let me just move my phone. So it'll just piss me off all day. So great if you can get in here. You bought in here for a short, and it bounces and then breaks. Great, but the chances are not as high as you think. Even though you see massive candles, chances are not as high as you think, because obviously the overall higher time frame's up. So until you get confirmation that the trend is down, then that's when you would be looking for short. So if I were looking for a short, I would look at something like this. That's where I would try and get in. That's where I would get in once we break that area. That's where I would try and get in. Because remember now, this has gone from a bearish level to now a bullish level, and you can see obviously before it was bearish, it bounced off, and went down straight back to bullish. So now this has turned to bull, just like a breaker block, like in my very first strat that I put on YouTube with David, just like a breaker block. That's how they work. So this is the only thing. I won't be trying to short for nothing. The signal that you get here, signals that you get here are not very clear. I mean, that's the clearest signal I can see just off the bat. Anything else is noise. You're on low time frame, and nothing gets broken anyway. Nothing gets seriously broken anyway. Really. So that just to answer for your question. So obviously I've got an alert there now, and I've got an alert on this to tell me. So the scenarios I see, if I go back to the hourly and I just delete this. So the scenarios, this is how I would see it. We've got all this analyzation marked out. So alert, if we break that, let me just put volume back on. So as you can see when you put it on, this is why this is still a break structure, and this is still a continue, because we've not broke cleanly there, and we're just ranging. Just looks crap, and you're in between two key levels. So I wait for a decent break on the hour of even one of these. So a break, retest, look for maybe a candle pattern, bearish angle, pin bar with volume on either side, something like that. That's how I look for it. So for me, the 15-minute, I won't try and trade unless. For me, on 15 minutes, I won't try and trade until I get a signal on the hour. So if I break that on the hour, or break that on the hour, then I'll probably drop to the 15 to try and see where a good place to enter would be. As far as the POI goes, on this, I would say, if I think I looked, I don't know if I could find one or not straight away. So the low, most important low to the most important high of recent structure. Obviously, it's broke this one, so obviously this is the most recent low, and this is the high that low put in. So for me, 61.8 to 80%. We've got a massive imbalance in there, so you could mark the imbalance out. Enter off of there. I like to find a candle in there. So what are we on now? 15 minutes. So if we go into the 10 minutes, still not one there. The imbalance has got smaller, so the signal's got smaller. 10 minutes, lowest I'll go, and yeah, look, the POI, there's imbalance here, but there's no candle in there for me. So if we break at this level, I would see what price would do there at this imbalance, what we marked out from earlier time frames. Other than that, that's all I can do. There's no POI there for me. And obviously up here, there's no imbalances. That is the only imbalance in the market. Some down here, but obviously they've been filled twice. They've been touched into twice. There's one here, but it's tiny. So for me, this is the only place around this area that I would wait to see what happens, because obviously with this pullback not breaking the breaker structure, you don't know if that's over yet. Pullback's completely over because it's not come down to a site, it's come down to a key level, but it could literally just fly straight down, hit that, and then fly back up. But until we break any one of these areas, I don't know. So I'm not gonna try and trade that. Now, that answers your question. Let me just put Steve's on if he's still here. If not, he can watch it again. Yeah, it's there. All right. So for Steve's, I need a replay. This is what I showed you the other day, Steve, but I'll just show it you in real time. This is obviously the 4-hour chart. Selling area here. Structure as well. So we're in the hourly one. Just mark this up too. Yeah, 4 hour. There is 4 hour. So I was back in the hourly because that's what I analysed it in. So Steve, we're following, obviously we're in an overall down. We've got imbalances up here. We had one here, one here. These ones have been filled. There's one here that's not been filled and one here that's still not been filled. We've got loads up here. There's massive signal there. That's how I look at it. They always get filled, but it's the biggest ones I'm more concerned about or more interested in. See this one, it's pulled back into this one. Tiny bit, I don't count it as a signal. Just these big ones I'm interested in. This one, this one, and this one. So overall, massive downtrend, even though you've got like a break here. You would have been trying thinking because you've had a break here. You would be up, but overall it's a downtrend. If you go back to the 4-hour, that's not. If you go back to the 4-hour, there's nothing. There's nothing like on the hour. It just shows you a massive downtrend from time ago. So this one is the strat what you are thinking of looking into. Show you the play out. See obviously you're marking out your last you mark your structures out all the time. CTS, BOS. CTS, BOS. Just keep marking out. You've got very strong key level here because you see the massive candle it puts up and then it comes back, tests it, and then smart money's in the market flying straight up. So breaks the key level, but immediately, not 2 candle closes, immediately smart money's bang straight up, straight back in. So obviously it's a false breakout. Take people's money. So now you've got these candles. Now this becomes, you haven't had the breaker structure yet. I've got it marked up, but now this becomes the so price goes up, doesn't break that, it's going to come down and test this. So it doesn't obviously, well, we'll see what happens. We've had a break here. We've got this candle that closes out. Only little signals. We've got wicks though, buying, coming straight back in. That could be caused from probably this sell zone. Wicks coming in, that could be caused by that sell zone. But we've had 1 candle close, 2 candle close, 3 candle, 4 candle, and this one here kills this one. I mean, if you're following the key levels as well, you could have had, it's all right saying you could have had, you should have had, or whatever, but if you're following, you'll see what I mean. If you're following the key levels too, you could have got in a short here to target, whatever. Know your imbalances, like I said earlier, mark out your imbalances for targets. So we've had that break of structure on the hourly there. So when I see these 2 candles pushing down, it's a strong push as well from a key level area. As soon as I see 2 strong candles showing that this is the end, obviously there's imbalance at the 50 fib. Imbalance at the 50 fib. Now normally the my entries are I wouldn't enter on the first one, but if this was the second wave, my entry area would be in this area to try and hope for it to go. But this is the first wave. This is just your signal. When I remember in my course, you'll remember from videos, loads of videos ago what I did. You'll remember the first wave, break of structure one, is the signal that smart money's in the market, and there you go, there's your signal. Imbalances, big imbalances too, and a big massive push up. So you could even say that the break of structure was here. Could even say that the break of Jesus. Could even say that the break of structure was there. It's still a break of structure, still makes sense. But I just marked that one. So this is the signal. We know smart money's in the market. We've had a massive downtrend for ages. And we've fibbed this area. Anywhere at the 50 fib, below the 50 fib is enough signal. I like to get to the 61 to 80%. So we'll just carry on. Now, we see these candles here. We know now that this is over. So now we can mark this now, because you've already had your break of structure here. Now you've had this pull down, and you've got these candles pushing straight up, continuous, one after the other. They're not doji candles, not range bars. They're literally just straight up. So now you can have this marked out as your BOS, because now obviously we've broke structure on the hourly, so we're not going to see CTS. Well, you could, but obviously following the strategy, this is how it should be followed. So now this becomes now that becomes the break of structure now, because you broke the structure to the up. This is the last high it put in to break that structure, so that is now you continue. We'll get rid of that. So now this is your break of structure, and that's your continuous structure. So you're expecting now price to go and continue because you broke back to the up. You have a break, you have a continue. They're not the cleanest, but they still are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles. You know now that's the continue. You're still into you're still not touched your break of structure. You know that now this pulse wave up has finished. So you've got your signal imbalances. Come back down, imbalance has been filled. So now you want to get in on the pullback of wave 2. So these 2 candles come. You know now that the imbalances are there. Not massive signals, but they're still bigger than before. So, and you know smart money's there. Smart money's manipulating back. So this is, where am I here? Yeah, fibs. So now you've got your fib. This is the last opposite candle to the direction the trend's moving. So obviously this is your last bearish because it's an up movement. So now you're expecting price to hit that. I mean, you can enter on these POI 1 hours. It's valid, but the signal's not as clear. So it could hit it, go up a tiny bit, and then fly straight through it. So you're not as safe as getting in on these. I mean, it works. I've done trades myself and it works. But you're always best off waiting for it to hit. Hits it, has a nice reaction with a wick and a big bar to follow. A big bullish to follow. So when it first hits it, I mean, I've marked breaker structure here, but this one is actually the breaker structure. What you need, it's normally the breaker structure. It works as well. It's normally the breaker structure, the last high on the 15 minutes. What before it hits the POI. So if we just go to the 15 minutes, and that is the last high it's put in before it's hit the POI. So I mean, I've marked one down here. This one still works, but this is the proper way to mark it. It's the last structure. I mean, you could mark a structure out down here when it's hit it, but this is the actual real way to do it. So that's your last high. That's your last 15-minute low. If you break that low, you're probably not gonna. If the POI is probably gonna fail, or you just have to keep an eye on it. So you've got. If you're following the market, you set an alert at this breaker structure then. And you just wait now for that breaker structure to be hit. And all you can see every time is bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. Every time it hits this POI. So obviously there's strong candles coming across it. The strong candles coming off of it. It's bounced numerous times and you see numerous candles. There's your breaker structure, what I marked, but let's just use this one. That's the proper one. There's your breaker structure. That's your alert gone off if you had an alert at this level. So now you are going to be using the fib one more time. We're in the 15-minute time frame. Obviously there's no institutional candle here, but there's imbalance. So what do we do then? We drop down, and then guess what? We see a nice perfect candle on the 10-minute time frame. So obviously, even though it says POI 15, but if you look, I don't have POI 10 minutes or 5 minutes or like that. I just have 1 hour, 4 hour and 15 minutes. So I just mark it out as a 15-minute. But you can see a nice perfect candle. So what you can do then, limit order just above or 30% in, but obviously the candle looks big because I'm zoomed in, but it's not big compared to your hourly candles what push. So entry just above, limit order, stop loss just below. I mean, you can see there's some wicks here, so you could put them just below them wicks. It's up to you, but I like to put it just underneath, just underneath the area. And so obviously you've got your limit order set already, and this is a 0.3 stop loss with probably, I don't know, 8.7% win. So risk to reward is 28. So your limit order's in. Watching this pullback on the 15 minutes, you're watching it come back down, and you've got the smart money signals already. You know, smart money's in the market. You've marked POI out, you've marked breaker structure out, and you've got your limit order. So for now, obviously, all it is to do is you've got your limit order set. This is coming down. So now you can go into the hourly, and you can target like your recent highs, or you can go into your 4 hourlies. Don't forget, this is the last major high that the market put in before the breaker structure. So you could target this high, or you could just go into the 4-hour charts and find the last high before bearish. Obviously, that's this area here, and you've got a key level up there because look at the strong imbalance. You've got massive imbalance up there, got imbalance up here. So you could take trade money off the trade here. I don't know how you would want to do it, Steve. So you could take a bit of the money off here, and then obviously target then your high before bearish. So that's why I've put TP and TP. And then obviously you just watch it play out. And your limit order's already set here, bang, you're in, and then off you go. And it's just a complete upward spiral all the way through. You've hit your first TP, so now you could, while you're getting all these movements here, you could move the stop loss just underneath it. Each one of these, every time a high gets broken, you move your stop loss underneath it. So that's a run through of that strategy. Hopefully that helps you, gives you a better idea of how to see things. And it sounds like a lot, but it's nothing. It's not a lot. As soon as you get used to it, you'll see them everywhere. You can load a chart up and you can see them straight away. Now, if I put the 4 hours lay on, if you really wanted to, you can follow the trade. Not in the 4 hour, obviously, but you could follow the trade with, like, just say you've TP'd 25% here or 50% here, you've TP'd 25% there, so just say 50, 25, 75 off, you've got 25% left on table. You've got this higher highs being created, all the, I won't count that as one, but you're getting higher highs created. You've not broke structure once to show any kind of weakness. It's still going. And if you show you, so if you look back, you can just mark extra levels out for to see what happens then, and if you see any like signals or you see a break of structure, but you can just literally follow the market through. When you get a good one, I mean, they don't always act like, they don't always start like this, but you've got now you've got breaks here. I mean, the market does carry on going, but you've got a break here and a break here, so you would have probably, as soon as you've seen this, you would have probably jumped out here. I'm not going to say I would have holded it all the way up here because I wouldn't have. But as you can see, the market just carries on. So it's that's just a run through how easy it is. And obviously, if you catch one, some of them are good like this. Very small stop loss. I don't think I'd ever be able to use over a 1% stop loss ever again. Me, it's got to be less than 0.3 or 0.5 or something. You know? I do get stopped out quite a few trades like this, but it is what it is, isn't it? I'm after these big moves, and that's what I'm looking for. That's what I want. So hopefully that answered how to do this trade, and I'll answer them now or whatever you want. Let's see. Just go upwards. That probably be off. Yeah. So now I've deleted all my charts. So now if I go into I've got my things here. Where is it? see. Ah. Yeah, this was the trade I got in. Oh. This was the trade I had on. See, they're not all massive R&Rs. I think this was like something like a 5 or something like that. The BOS, remember, and I put fake there. This was an analyzation I did. I put fake there with question mark because it was a massive candle, but then an immediate reaction, and we was at a key level 4 hour and a key level 1 hour, and there were sell positions. So I wouldn't, just because we got this breaker structure, I counted it as a fake because we hit a key level. There's the POI on the 15 minutes chart, what I found. I did lose this trade, but I did win this trade. So the reason I took the short was because I counted this in my head as a fake break. Like I say, we're at a selling level. Why would I try and buy at a selling level? But then when we come down to here, I thought, well, maybe this will, because of the size of the candle, this bearish candle compared to the bullish candle, both high volume in the candles. So I just thought, well, maybe we're coming back down to touch this, but I'll put this short in. The reason I put the short in was this break of structure here. So we had a valid pullback on the 15-minute now, and I knew we're at a selling area on the high time frame, so I dropped down to the 15 minutes, counted the breaker structure as a fake on the 1 hour, dropped to 15 minutes, pullback, fibbed the area after this pullback, found this 15-minute POI. You can see the candle there, and then it pushed up. So what I did then is, when we got this breaker structure, obviously I used this key level on the lower time frame. I marked this out, this box here, this little light coloured one. I marked this out and I put an entry. I put an entry at the bottom and a stop loss at the top, and went down. My original target was the key level down at the hourly, but then instantly in my head, thought this big move straight through. Did count it as a fake, but I thought maybe it might be coming down to this POI. So the safest thing to do for anybody or any trend or any person that's in one of these trends, if you're at a selling level, but you see buying pressure like this one, the 4 hour trend was up, the 1 hour trend was down, and the 15-minute trend was up until this point. When I analysed it and I put this in the actual group, the 4 hour trend was up when I was about here. The 1 hour trend was down, and I didn't count this breaker structure, so still the 1 hour trend were down to me, and the 15-minute were up. So obviously I want the 4 hour and the 1 hour to all be up. The 15-minute won't always be the same as the 1 hour and the 4 hour, because obviously the 15-minute has to do the work for them to follow the 4 hour and 1 hour, and vice versa. So what I thought was, while ever the 4 hour trend's up, I'm not looking for a buy here. I'm not going to count that breaker structure as much, but I put a short in here. This key level, this was the low time frame key level, 15-minute key level, bounced it in, and I just took profit there. But obviously the 4 was up, so I had to TP faster because I'm counter trending really. 1 hour was down, but then when it got to this point and we broke the structure, obviously this 15-minute trend then was down. So you've got the 15 and 1 hour. You need 2 matching well, I do, quite a lot of people do, but you need 2 matching for a trade to be valid, and most of the time it's the 4 hour and the 1 hour you want. But obviously at this time, 1 hour and the 15-minute turned from up to down, took it. Now I followed the market. I didn't count any of these as any structure. I counted this last one here. This was a proper break of this low. So I counted this as the 15-minute key level. I know it seems a bit much, but that's what I did. And obviously it came up, tested, bounced, came up, tested, bounced, came up, tested, bounced a few times, and then went down, hit with TP. This one just blasted straight through it. So obviously they didn't want much weight in the POI. As you can see, it's come back again, tested the key level, had a little rejection, but then flew through. But obviously my trade had already been won. Normally what I do is I set a limit order at this key level, just above it, stop loss just below it. I didn't on this one, although it would have worked. If I didn't do it, I didn't do it. No point. But that's what I normally do. 4 hour trends up, 1 hour trends up, key levels here. If it bounces off the key level, if I've got a limit order there, if not, I wait for this. I mark it enter if I see this, and then I'll enter on the close of that candle. So then and then my stop loss just below or just below the key level. But obviously, as you can see on this photo, not every POI works, and you've got to wait quite a long time for that. You've got to wait a long time for the POI to work. And then sometimes it doesn't work at all. You can see BTC again here. As I say, key levels turn to breaker blocks. A bit low time frame to be suggesting it. But as you can see, it broke this structure on the 15 minutes. I was just messing about with the charts earlier, but we're at a sell level on high and low time frame. So there's the key level. We've broke it massively, but well, not massively. We broke it, but then we've had an instant reaction to it. So that's the 4 hour one, and the CTS to me on the 4 hour is not valid because we broke it once, one candle, and then rest of it's just come straight back in. So obviously to me, it's not a valid break. It's still in an uptrend, but it's not a valid break. So obviously this one is a break on the 15 minutes because there's a line, got a candle close, two candle close, so I've counted that as a break on the 15 minutes, and then obviously all of a sudden on the hourly you get a break on the hourly, but it's not too clean. You've got an immediate reaction, but you've got you did have a bullish area here. It broke straight through that, and then obviously now, as you can see, it's turned bearish because we've had reaction every time off of it. So that's how I've been marking it out. We've got imbalance here on the breaker structure on the 1 hour. Obviously, if you push this along, this one I didn't count. We've got a 1 candle, 2 candle there. We've got more candles closed below it here. So left it there. So it has broke structure on the hourly, and it's not come back up, obviously. But this, I mark this out as my POI. But as you can see, the reason that I am mixing, the reason why I'm doing this key levels with it is because obviously there's a lot of times it doesn't come into the POI to go. It just hits the it doesn't hit the POI, it just hits this key level and then goes down. So I think that's the reason why I'm using this as well, and it works perfectly with it. I mean, you can see every time we're coming down, like broke the structure there, we've got key levels, every time it hits them, it's reacting nicely to them, wicks into them. just while waiting for the POIs. So yeah, that's exactly how I'm doing it now. But now if I look on the 4 hour on this chart, this grey outline box is a big key level. I'll show you. It's this one. Marked it out and look at the move we got from that. That's when we was up at 25, or yeah, that one. That was the last time we had a bullish movement. And if you remember, I don't know if anybody does, I bought here. I bought in here. No, here. I bought in here when it come back down to this area. I bought in, and he cancelled my order on ByBit up here somewhere. But yeah, I were hoping to catch all that. But that's the last bullish area key level we've had. That's the last major high. And as you can see, we have just come and we've literally tested it with a wick and then bounced straight back out. Not massively bounced out of it. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to go down. I'm not going to say it's going to go up. You can't predict anything. But I will say, obviously, you can see this level is strong. It's not hit it since we were up at 25k. So that's why I marked it out as a grey outline. And as you can see, it's worked. So if we now look here, we've got massive imbalance there, massive imbalance, massive imbalance. We've got imbalance here. This is most recent area where I think it might pull to. I think it might go all the way down to here, mate. But it's just getting into it. You never know. It could just fly up now. God knows. I ain't got a clue. If anybody can predict what's going to happen and they've got good results, like, you can don't worry about telling me. I'll take it all on board. So, what have I seen here? Why do I think shorts are going to work? Group volume again. So, if let me just delete this line, which is held pretty well actually. So if we just do the structure, let's start from here. This is how I see the structure. That's how I see the structure on the 4 hour. So I've got this as a key level on the 4 hour. So now let's stick volume on. And as you can see, this wave, the buying pressure is high. Obviously, you don't think just because it's going up, well, it will be high. It doesn't. Like I say, it doesn't work like that. You'll understand if you start using it. Work like that. So I've started from this wave, first up candle to the last up candle. As you can see, the buying pressure is up, and then compare it to the from this high to this low. Because the reason I've counted this low is 2 candles, 3 candles straight off, and then obviously breaks that up there. So I count that as one big move. So buying pressure's up, then we go to selling pressure. Selling pressure is leveled. Group volume is leveled. So obviously buying outweighs selling. And then we come to buying again. It's up. It's the slope of it has, oh gee. Am I still in replay mode? One second. Let me just turn this replay. So obviously this push, I know we've got pushes here, but we're only concentrating on the most recent. So if we just do this, so if we quickly do that, so buying pressure against selling pressure in the pulse and pullback. Obviously, if you're looking for buys, you want your buying pressure to be level or down, and you want your bullish pressure to be up. So we've got bullish pressures up, bearish pressures leveled. So bullish outweighs it. And then we come here again, the slope from this one to this one. As you can see, it's not as steep. This one's steeper than this one. But again, buying pressure is still up, but not as steep as that one. So then when we get to this little pullback here from this one to this one, now you see selling pressure come back in. Now the angle of selling pressure in just these few is a much bigger angle than any of the last three pulls or pullbacks. So for me, this area here, this is why this is a key level. The selling area from the selling pressure in this from here to here is massive. It obviously it outweighs any buying pressure. Then you get back to here again. We had that we had this big push up, and don't forget this is on the 4 hour. So we had this big push up, and these candles were from the news yesterday, I believe. I think so. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they were, but that's probably why the momentum was up there. So overall, you've got bullish, and then now this is where selling pressure is coming. The news caused high momentum for bulls, but is this the area we've hit a resistance? We've hit a key level, a high time frame key level, a very strong key level, because of the previous move where it dropped down from 25k to 15k, was it? I don't know, I can't remember. So we've hit that massive area, and selling pressures entered the market at this point. So is this going to be where we find the drop? I don't know, but this is what I do. So then go into the 1 hour, and these three are the last three waves I've put on for sells, buys. Selling pressure, massive. Buying pressure, level. Selling pressure, massive. So, and they're all above average. So for me, there's more selling than buying. Even though we're up, and even though we had this big massive push up, this was just from news. So for me, what I think is, this was the selling pressure of the hour. Look how much that's up. That's on the 4 hour. That was the last selling pressure. But then news come in and give us like a big bit of momentum from news. But if it wasn't for that news, I believe we would have gone down already by quite a margin. But these little arrows here, these are most recent, and the selling pressure compared to the buying pressure is rubbish. So I mean, this is the most. There's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 last volume, and you've got a decrease in volume again, and obviously your bearish is outweighs bullish already. So for me, the volume, the group volume's not there, and the sellers are in charge for me at the minute, even though we're still in an uptrend, until we're breaking structures. We've hit all the main areas. We've failed to CTS. We've had an immediate reaction to this key level on a 4 hour. We've had an immediate reaction on the 15, the 1 hour, and we're at massive resistance here. as well as selling pressure being massively compared to the buying pressure in group volume. So I think personally, we might be on the verge of going to collect some lows. I think this is why I've got this area marked out. There's imbalances here. I do believe that we can fly straight down there. Look how fast we got there. I think it can be just as fast to come back down. I think it's a sell at the minute. Obviously, wait for confirmation. Wait for key levels to be broken, and then we'll know more. We have had a breaker structure already, hourly. Obviously, this doesn't count as the breaker structure, but when you take this further along, you've got multiple candles closing below it, and obviously combine that with your selling pressure. I know it looks like we're ranging. Well, we are ranging, but combine your breaker structure with your selling power, your selling momentum. No bullish momentum there now, unless the volume's lying to me, but I didn't think volume lies. So yeah, we broke structure on the hourly. This will confirm it. A break at this key level. If we get a break at that key level, depends how we break it. I mean, we've broke structure already. If I'm being daft on low time frames, this was a 15-minute key level, and we've broke it, and we've just retested it, and we've not been able to get back above it. So are these indications of a massive short coming? I mean, you've got plenty of indications there. You've got this. Then you've got your breaker structure. Then you've got your key levels to breaker blocks, whatever they are. Fail to close above it or fail to retake it. There's just so much that I can see showing me short. Like I say, you can't predict market, but this is how I look at things. And if I see something like that, then or I see all this stuff all at once, then obviously that makes me believe or think that we might be heading down to collect all these balances, all these orders. If we're getting it at the right time, I might be wrong, and it might just bounce straight through that, bounce off and go up. But I can only work with what I see on chart, and as you can tell by the analysation I've just showed you, there's more for sells than there's buys. Will it work? God knows. But as you can see, there is more for selling than there is buying at the minute. Plenty of times. So that's what I think about this market at the minute with BTC. So is there anybody who has any questions for me? Nope. I'll see you later.
I'm just looking through the chat for you. So look, there doesn't seem to be any in the chat. You don't have any YouTube.
No, I've got some. There's some here.
Okay, right.
There's some here. So, when there's so many pairs, including FOREX, I was watching about 6 pairs all set with alerts. Best way to get, I think, just watch the best. I think just watch the best coins. I've got a massive watch list. Where am I here? So I've got this watch list, and this is every coin on ByBit, every crypto on ByBit. But I don't, if I just flick onto them and I just see something straight off the bat, like as soon as I flick onto a coin, I can see straight away stuff. So I'll just quickly just mark out like this in my head. I don't do it. I don't mark it all like this, but in my head, that's how I look at stuff like this. And obviously see what other coins are doing. So you can easily do it if you've had if you join into the market and you see if you're here in the market and you see this break here, this little break, actually in your head, you just mark that out. It just makes your go lower time frame, marks them out and set alerts. I just look at the most popular coins, but I can just flick on any and just see stuff. Whatever I see, I see it. Whatever I don't, I don't. These are my FOREX. I have all the 6 or 7 major FOREX pairs, and then I have a few stocks, metals, and a few stocks that I'm watching. So that's how I spot them, and every night, just like after this live, what I'll do is, and here's a trade that didn't open. FOREX, I don't know what it is. Trading 212 I'm using. Other day it did the exact same to me. It didn't open my order, and it went in like about that much, and it didn't open the order, and it goes down and hits the target. But every night what I do is I just load all these up. I load all the coins up and then just mark. I've just reset all my charts, but I just mark most recent stuff up and set alerts or set limit orders if I can, and that's all I do. That's how I find them, by just quickly looking and doing it. Alerts. So when key is trading, no, abides key level. Well, when you're in a range of key levels, but when you hit a key level, you can see what happens at that key level. I mean, you let me just quickly show you. Oh, wrong page. So, see where I am. So what you do is, just say you got in at, just say you got in here as a short. Not there. You wouldn't have got in there. Sorry. This made the key level. It's come back down, so you're thinking, all right, we're having a pullback. If you were here, we'll wait for a retest of that. Retest it, you're in a short, and it comes down. So what you do then is, when you get to here, when you get to here, yeah, right there we are. So if you got into the short when it's retested it there, and you come down to here, when it gets to here, obviously you look at what happens here on different time frames. So that's in the range. I would TP at key levels or highs. If you're counter trending, obviously the TP has to be faster. But you can see what you want to do with like volume or patterns or stuff like that. But most of the time, if you're getting in at a key level, but there's a bullish key level here, what you've marked out, you normally entering on the retest or entering just below, stop loss just above, and take profit just above. That's how you're normally doing it with the key level, because you can't be certain of anything. But now, whereas say like this bullish move here, this is the only time that you don't, you can set a TP, but the reason you don't, say the price of this, say there was a, this is the reason you don't do it. You don't do it. So say that coming here and you bought here, obviously there's nothing, it's already hit this key level, it's had a reaction from it, but if you considered still going, you've hit this, you bought here and it keeps on going, obviously I'm just looking at recent structures, but if there is no structure there, or it's the highest the coin's been, say if it's a new coin or something, or there's, or it's into new territory, it's into new highs, and you can just keep going and just follow it like this, just keep marking your CTSs and BOSs, and you just keep an eye on the market, keep marking out your levels, keep marking out your POIs if you get them, like I have there. Just keep marking out, follow the market. Obviously you don't need a TP if it's in new highs, because where it could go anywhere, it could go any high, but obviously if you're just keeping an eye on it and you're marking out your key levels and you're moving your stop losses, you're moving your stop losses up every time to your recent key levels. Every time you break one, you're moving them up or down if you're in a short. That's how I do them. That's how I would do it. But when you're inside CTS and the BOS, anything inside, until you're cleanly breaking, you're just TPing it at close areas, whatever you are, whatever time frame you're trading. Obviously, break a structure in the 15-minute target, 1 hours maybe. I've got it all wrote down in the notes and that. Anyway, so go back to them and have a look. So, help my members of I'll rewatch. When can we get the key level trading lecture notes? I don't know. I've got them all wrote down. They're all ready to put across again. But as you can see, it took me an absolute mountain to get all this. I don't mind doing it for people, but it took me a long time to do all this because I had to write it out like 3 times. Once on here, once on something else, and once on a, what is it now? Presentation, Google, whatever it's called. I saved it there as like a slide, a Google slide, I think. So it took me 3 times to write it all. But if you want me to, I can do it. You'll just have to bear with me. I'd probably get this much done every night. I'll probably get 4 or 5 pages done a night. Maybe, I don't know, but look how long this one was. And this is all just like the POI one, but you need all, I know, like, people don't need silly explanations like that or like that, but it's all part of it because it puts it in your mind. Imbalance, people don't need imbalanced stuff, but it's there, it's meant to be there. That's what it's for. That's how I learned it, and that's how it stays in your head. You need stuff like this. I'm not just going to skip it, and if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it properly. I'm not just going to skip and just do best bits. I'm going to do every single detail I can, just so you've got everything you can. I'm going to try and give good information, not crap information. I don't want people to fail. I want people to win. So that's, if you want it, I can give it you. Yeah, in your own good time. Yeah, man. I will do then. I'll get it all together. I might just have to start another channel up. By the time I've finished in DaviddTech, I'll have a full. I'll have half at least saying scopes. I don't like to take up too much room or like that. But, yeah, if you want it, I can give it. Yeah, and it's a longer course. There's more to it than the POI one. Well, I'd say there's about the same, but there's more explaining to do. There's more to learn or more to take in, so it's not as easy as the POI one. But yeah, I will do it at some point. I'll get it all ready and start doing it. You got any questions, David, Johnny, Vlad, William?
I'm good. Thank you very much, Skep, for the wonderful explanation, and thanks for all of the documentations that you do for all the time. They're much appreciated.
Yeah.
I see all of your great comments and everything. Everybody seems to be winning, which is absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
More people.
Yeah. I lost a few. I lost a few yesterday though. Limit orders I had. Yeah, just when news came. Because what I do, obviously, I just flick through all my coins, and just mark things up, set limit orders, and a lot of times they work, or a lot of times I get a reaction from the area. Do you know what I mean? So I can at least move my stop loss to break even, or I can at least move my stop loss into profit. But obviously, with the news yesterday, I forgot about all. I was watching the news as well, and I didn't even think in my head. Oh, I've got like I had three. I think I had 3 limit orders open.
Right.
They all opened and killed me instantly. So I lost 3 in a row yesterday. Well, I gained 2. I gained 2. I lost 2. Lost 3, 1, 2. But I think I need.
Heck of a lot of trades went through yesterday as well on through ByBit as well. You could see through their profile it was serious amounts.
Yeah, man. Right. Well,
thank you. I hope you feel better. Well done.
I know. Yeah, I powered through it.
Yeah,
I feel all right now. To be fair.
Might better go back boxing then.
Yeah, I know, mate. Right. Yeah. Well, that's all I've got for today.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, mum. All right, mate.
Have a nice evening, everybody. Take care. See you all next week. Have a nice weekend.
See you later, guys. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.